Everyone says manifestation is supposed to be easy. Neville taught that it was easy. So why doesn't it feel that way for most people? If Neville taught that creating a reality is effortless, then why do so many struggle, doubt, and wait for results that never come? The truth is, manifestation is easy, but only when you understand the one thing Neville kept repeating that most people completely overlook. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why it's simple, why it feels hard for most, and how to shift into the effortless flow Neville was talking about. And if you're new here, hello, I am your muse Traci. On this channel, I teach you how to peel back the false layers of programming and limiting beliefs to help you erase limits, embody power, and effortlessly manifest the life of your dreams. So let's get into this one. I'm super excited about this video today. So Neville's core teachings, he did teach that manifestation is easy. His entire teachings rest on one foundation. Your imagination is God, or your imagination alone creates reality. That's it. If you can imagine it, feel it, and accept it as real within, and I would add, stop contradicting it with your self-imposed limitations, then it must express itself without in your outer reality. In other words, it must be made manifest. Neville said, man is all imagination. God is man and exists in us and we in him. The eternal body of man is the imagination, and that is God himself. Now, if that sounds confusing, he was saying simply that, it's your imagination that creates reality. So it is not about effort. It is not about struggle. It's not about forcing anything in the outer world. The moment you accept the imaginal act as fact, the moment you feel it real, you've already created the internal shift and it will follow externally. That's why it's easy. There's no effort required other than you accepting your imagination as the cause and the outer reality as the effect. You're not out here building your desire brick by brick. You're simply aligning with the version of you that already has it. For example, think about something small you've manifested almost without effort. We've all done it, right? Like suddenly thinking of a friend and then they text you, or deciding you want a coffee and somehow someone offers to buy you one. Those things feel easy because you didn't obsess or overly need them. You didn't contradict them with your limitations. You just assumed it, desired it, let it go, and it showed up. That's Neville's whole point. It's all supposed to feel like that. So now let's talk about why it feels hard, the trap that most people fall into. So if it's just that easy, why doesn't it feel easy for most? I work with a lot of clients and most of them come to me after struggling to manifest, struggling to get it to be easy. Here's the problem. People keep looking to the 3D world for confirmation. They imagine the end, they feel good for a moment, but then they open their eyes coming out of their imaginal act. They look around, and when nothing has changed instantly, they think it's not working. And to be honest, I used to do the exact same thing. I did this exact thing until I knew what I was doing, until I figured out what I was doing to myself. I was doing this imaginal act, creating these amazing feelings, and then going right back to looking for it outside of myself. That's not going to work. That's where all the struggle comes from. The 3D is always behind. Neville said the world is a mirror forever reflecting what you are doing within yourself, and there's a time delay. So if you're waiting on the mirror to change before you believe, you'll always feel delayed, frustrated, and stuck. Manifestation feels hard when you give more authority to what you see out there than what you imagine and feel within. Let's look at another example. This is like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to check. Is it growing? Is it growing? Is it sprouting? Is it working? Is it working? Of course, it feels hard when you keep disturbing the seed. It's hard for the seed to do anything, and it's likely that it won't do anything because you keep disturbing it. But if you plant it, you water it, and you trust the process and you let the seed do its thing because you know the seed, you know what it does. It grows into the full-fledged manifestation in this analogy, then it's a guarantee. That's what Neville meant when he said the outer world is just a shadow. It will catch up. Just let it do its thing. Let it take its time, the process that it takes. So the ease Neville talked about comes the moment you stop asking, where is it? Or also stop asking, how is it going to happen? These two questions are manifestation killers. And instead, you start resting in, it is already done. Think about it. If you order food at a restaurant, you don't keep doubting whether the kitchen got your order, whether they're going to get it right, whether they know all the things that they need to put on your tacos, or whatever it is that you ordered. You know it's being prepared, and you know it's being prepared well, just the way you like it. And you relax and you engage in conversation or whatever else it is you do to pass the time while your food is being prepared, and then it arrives. Manifestation works the same way if you let it, if you trust it, if you believe in it. When you dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled, you no longer strain for the evidence because you already know it's yours. That knowing, that assumption is what makes it effortless. And this is what a lot of people tend to skip over because, again, this core fundamental principle that Neville is teaching, your imagination creates reality, your imagination is God. We didn't learn this growing up. I mean, I didn't, most people didn't. And so it's flipping everything that you've been taught, everything you've been conditioned to, think and believe and operate from. It's flipping it on its head, right? And so that's why most people skip this core foundation that makes all of Neville's teachings effortless, right? So you can't skip this piece. That's the point of my video here. You cannot skip this core fundamental piece that was at the basis of all of Neville's teachings that so many people want to skip over. So here's what I want you to practice. Instead of asking, why is it taking so long and when is it coming? Flip the question, flip it around. Ask yourself, if I were already living in the end, if it was already done, whatever your desire is, how would I think? What would I be feeling? And how would I move? What would I do? What would I be doing naturally? And then you live from that answer. This is what Neville meant by living from the end. You ask yourself, how would you think? How would you feel? How would you behave if it were already here now? Because, spoiler alert, it is. Creation is finished. Even if you can't see it, it is done. It is already done. And I can go into all of the, there's scientific proof about, how there's multiple realities that exist at once, how your brain is a filter and it filters out all you don't see all the realities at once. You only see a teeny tiny small portion, and your brain is doing this. Your brain is filtering out the other realities. And this is exactly how you allow the other realities to become visible to you. Because the only reason manifestation feels hard is that you're living in the state of not having it. And you keep going back to that state of not having it. Why? Because of your 3D reality, I'm guessing, you keep looking for the evidence outside of yourself. It's not outside of yourself. The evidence is inside of yourself. To begin with, it'll be outside of yourself eventually, but it starts by being inside. And when you don't see it outside, you live from that end rather than going back to your desired end internally, that state of being, of already having it. The moment you shift into the state of already having it, it's a done deal for you, and it will manifest in your outer reality. So here's an exercise. Try this tonight before bed. Imagine yourself checking your phone and smiling at a message that you really wanted to see. Don't worry about the details. Just feel the feeling, whatever it is that you want to see on your phone. Just feel the satisfaction, the relief, whatever it is, wash over you. You can do that tonight. Then drop it, let it go, and watch how fast little things, the evidence starts to show up, matching your feeling, matching your state of being. Neville was clear. Imagination creates reality. That's why imagination is easy. The only difficulty is in convincing yourself that your imagination is more real than the world you see around you. It's different from what you were taught and what you were conditioned to believe, and likely what everyone else around you also believes. But you're here watching this video for a reason. This resonates with you for a reason, and on a deep level, you know this is true, even if it is completely contrasting to what you were always taught to believe. You know this is true. So trust that resonance within you and be brave enough to trust yourself and your knowing that this is true, that Neville, what he's teaching is true. Neville proved it in his reality again and again and again. And that is how this works, and you can too. But you have to, trust it. You have to believe in it at the core and give it a try. Really try what he's teaching. So if this message resonates with you and you do need some help, as most of us do as we're trying to master this, even Neville did in the beginning, right? He learned from and worked with Abdullah to get his foundation set. And he leaned on Abdullah's certainty before he had that certainty. And that's what coaching is for. And so it can be helpful. And so if you feel like you need help with this, you've been trying to get this piece of it for a while, that's exactly what I help my clients to do. And it's exactly what I can help you do as well. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description. Also, there's a link in the pinned comment. Learn more about the different ways to work with me. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave me a like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.